things just happen, and for me, I always think about what lessons can I learn from what's happened to me. So on Thursday, so I have two boys. One of them is 11 and the other one is 5, and my lovely wife, Kemi. So in the evening on Thursday, around, I would say maybe about 8 o'clock, we got together, we prayed, and our youngest, we sent him to bed, and maybe like 5 minutes later, walked out. We normally pray in the kids' room. So 5 minutes later, we just stepped out from the room, and I just saw our 11-year-old trying to get out from the little room where I use as office when I'm working from home. And there's no lock on the door, by the way. And we've literally just finished praying. 5 minutes later, it's locked in that room. There's no lock on the door, but the door just jammed and it couldn't come out. So, and you know when you've had a long day and the only thing you want to do is just send the kids to bed and just chill a little bit. Sometimes me and my wife like to just sit down, watch maybe a movie or something, have tea or something, and then go to bed. And then that happened. And we tried everything, and the door just won't budge. Anyways, some of our neighbors came to help, and the door just won't budge. Long story short, we had to call the fire service. Because I called so we have emergency cover. Called them and they said, sorry guys, we can't help you. That's not part of your cover. So anyways, I had to call the emergency service. Lucky enough, it's just 5 minutes from where. And they went into the room through the window and they were able to get him out of there. So like maybe an hour and a half later, but this time was around 11 o'clock and we're really tired. Anyways, went to bed, and then the next day, the younger one had an hospital appointment, which has been booked, or it's been on the waiting list for about nearly 2 years. So he went in this procedure yesterday, and we were there all day and all of that. So why am I telling you this story? As somebody who's moved to this country about 12 years plus ago, living here with my wife, 2 children, no other. So my wife has families, but they don't live in Manchester anymore. And sometimes things just happen to you, and you're just looking for who to call. So luckily, my neighbors, they weren't Nigerians, they're not Africans, they're not black, who came to help. The white British people, Indian, and all sorts of people from the community that we lived in came to help us that day, believe you me. So we have a WhatsApp group in the estate where we live. So I just posted there, somebody help, and people came to help us. And you will see the reason why I had to share that story. It can be really lonely if you live in a country like this with no family around to quickly call on. If that had happened to me in Nigeria, there will be one brother Sule that will come and jam the door open. But of course, that happened here. Okay, so it will make sense why I've told that story now. So as an immigrant myself, one of the biggest hurdles is adapting to the new way of life while raising children. And those challenges, of course, they are inevitable, and they impact on every part of our lives. One of the things so I've kind of identified 6 things. 2 of them, lucky enough, we have people here who are going to do justice to it. So one is culture. When I came to this country, again, I'm a very reflective person by the virtue of my job, whether as a youth worker or as a social worker. We have to reflect on what's going on, reflect in action, for action, and constantly reflecting on what's going on for me. One of the things I notice is that culture is different. And I'm sure you guys would have noticed that as well. The culture, whether it's parenting culture, whether it's discipline, whether it's law, whether it's timing, all sorts. So culture is different. So that changing parenting norms vary greatly across cultures. So back home in Nigeria or other parts of Africa where some of us are from, or whether you're Indian or Asian, we know very well that, or they say very well. I can remember that growing up, I wasn't raised by just my. So I was raised by practically, and me and my siblings, children are raised by everyone. It's a collective responsibility. If you're messing up somewhere in the streets and your parents are not there, trust me, one uncle will give you factory resets. One uncle will give you factory resets. Me and my friends growing up, we used to joke. Maybe I go out with my friends and coming back, if my dad is driving by, he's very gentle, very calm. He will just call you, Lanre. But if my mom sees you, you are in for it. So what I'm trying to say is raising up children where we're from, where many of us are from, is a community thing. But that's I wouldn't say that is completely different here. But the culture, the cultural norm, there's a lot of individualism. People would rather do things for themselves. For example, if you're setting up, you've just moved into a new house, back home, you want to call one, again, another, that will be one brother Sule that will come and help you to fix your furniture, do this and do that and do all of that. But you can do it by yourself. You can buy a house, you can sit in your room, look online, find a house, buy the house, order your furniture online. If you're good at DIY, set up everything and invite people to dinner. But, so that's culture, that's a change for me. I'm used to people doing things for us, but people would rather do things for themselves. So that's culture again. Again, another thing is about finance. As an immigrant, people have spent money. I can remember our second, who is 5 now. When between age 1 to the same for the older one, but that's distant memories now because we're not paying childcare anymore. So, but the one who is 5 now, between age 1 and 3, before he started school, we were paying, I think, close to maybe £600 every month to our childminder. And I must tell you, when he started primary school and we don't have to pay that £600, we had a party that first month. Me and my wife, we were looking forward to it. Like, if he was going to start school in September, we were looking forward to it from like March. Imagine how much we're going to save. And then COVID started. But anyways, that's another story. But that's just to say, financially, the financial pressure that puts on family, you have to work extra to make sure that we're bringing in the money. Again, so family, relationship. So as an immigrant, as somebody who is new to the community, that feeling